All right, so you want to get better at solving problems, right? Like really crack the code on how to get unstuck and start having more of those aha moments.
Because who doesn't? Right.
Exactly. And luckily for us, there's this awesome guide called 5 Tips for Teaching Problem-Solving Skills. And
Even though it says teaching, trust me, these
yeah,
tips, they're like gold for anyone facing any kind of problem.
it's so true. Okay, so tip number 1, brainstorming. Seems kind of basic, but I feel like sometimes we forget how powerful it can be to just get all those ideas, even the kind of crazy ones, out on the table.
Yeah, and I actually read this fascinating study, I think it was from UC Berkeley, about how it's not even about the quality of those initial ideas.
No.
It's the quantity. Like, the more ideas you throw out there, the more likely you are to stumble on something truly innovative.
It's like, when you're trying to come up with a new recipe and you start just randomly grabbing ingredients from your pantry?
Totally. And sometimes you end up creating something amazing just by trying things out.
Exactly. So we've brainstormed, we've got this mountain of ideas. Now what?
Now, we break it down. It's like that saying, how do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
Exactly. You got to break that problem into smaller, digestible chunks.
Plus, when you break things down, you can often see the problem areas more clearly.
Totally. It's like you're not wasting time trying to fix something that's not actually broken. You're going straight to the source.
Speaking of getting to the source, tip number 3 is all about asking the right questions. And not those questions where you already know the answer, but those open-ended ones that really make you think.
Those questions are like magic. They force you to dig deeper and come up with your own solutions, which is way more powerful than just being told what to do.
For sure. It's like instead of asking yourself, why am I so stuck? You ask, what's one small step I could take right now to move forward?
Exactly. And suddenly, you're not paralyzed by the problem anymore. You're taking action.
Love it. All right, tip number 4 is a big one. Embracing failure.
Ah, yes, the F word. But it's not about letting failure define you, right?
Definitely not.
It's about seeing it as a stepping stone, a chance to learn and grow.
Because let's be honest, some of our biggest breakthroughs come from those I can't believe that just happened moments.
Totally.
And finally, we've got tip number 5, learning from others.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time you face a challenge, right?
Exactly. There's so much we can learn from observing how other people solve problems, whether it's a mentor, a colleague, even just watching someone figure out a tricky situation.
Or reading about it. Think about all those times you've been totally absorbed in a book and you see how the main character overcomes an obstacle.
Yes, you're learning those problem-solving strategies without even realizing it.
So those are your 5 tips for unlocking your inner problem solver. And remember, it's not about following these tips perfectly. It's about using them as a springboard to find what works best for you.
Now, the real question is, what problem are you going to tackle with these new tools?
Yeah, what's holding you back?